Director Gregory? Here. Director Smiley?
Yes, here.
Are present. I need a motion to approve the regular meeting agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none.
Move on to the approval of the regular meeting.
We did that. We did that, Robert. We're doing pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance.
We did it fast.
Provide the pledge of allegiance, please. Kindly repeat with me the pledge of allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time I have public comment, communication for the items not on the agenda. Persons wishing to speak on the matter not on the agenda may be heard at this time. However, we will not be taking any action until placed on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Please sign at the lectern and address.
Thank you, Board. My name is Greg Raywell. I'm here from Creston, California, and I wanted to bring a couple things to the Board's attention. Oh shit, I'm already at that. Here recently, well, just so everybody knows, I met with the district attorney a week ago over some actions that happened here. I'm redacting some information that their public integrity unit is looking at. The other day at the Paso County Board meeting, they brought up a item to spend almost $300,000 to do a study on dropping state water in the Weweweh River. It has to be $2,500 an acre foot. You have to buy a turnout for $1 million. You have to dechlorinate it. You have to put it in the river, which you don't have permission to do. And they think this is a good deal. Well, in 2008, which I have the documents here, we did the same study on a water banking study, and we spent $327,000 at that time. So I want to know how this GSA board, all of you, voted to do this project when your MOA says that the staff members on the GSA board, the cooperative group, have no powers or authority to move forward on anything without every individual GSA voting on it. How did this happen? I know your GSA member didn't vote on it, that sits on your board. So, did your staff member vote it? Who voted on this? How did this move forward to be a project when it wasn't voted and you're in violation of the MOA? The other thing I talked to the district attorney about, all the violations in the MOA that are not being adhered to when they have no powers or authority to do anything and spend money that's not their money. Oh, it's just their money. No, that's other people's money. That's not their money. That's our money. So, why do we have to duplicate a study that we already have to do something that's not going to change because they want to kick the can down the road and act like they're doing something? This is ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous on every fraction of everything we do. The county in August 13th, their representatives are going to talk about selling excess state water to get $6 million that goes into a special account that can't be used for anything else. There's not any extra state water to put anywhere. We get 40% this year because they didn't worry about the salmon. Getting water past the Delta is the biggest deal. Besides, if we get our state water, we don't get our state water. And we paid for it for 60 years, and the people that pay the most for it don't get any benefit. Thank you very much. I will be leaving because I have 3 grandchildren from Oregon, and I'm going back to see them. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Hello, my name is Eric Chavez. This is my partner, classmate partner, Eric Garcia. We're students from the Pastoral High School, and we came here to talk about a proposal, not really a proposal, but an idea that we had originally. It was a AP US History project, which was focused on making a change, or helping to make a change in our community. And our goal is to implement more bike safety and infrastructure to San Miguel. For Eric here, he lives in San Miguel, and his siblings and him, he used bikes. He used a bike to get here. They used bikes to go to school, to hang out, or to the store. So yeah, the decision to add bike infrastructure came pretty fast. Go ahead. And I just wanted to add some points, or there's some ideas out there about what we can add and how it will impact setting up. Like for example, implementing structures like parking stations, space on roads and repair stations. They would allow more people to use their bicycles comfortably commute around San Miguel. When I went here, I visited the park for Father's Day, and I saw plenty of people use bikes, ride their bikes around the park. Some people were trying to fix their bikes, but they didn't have the right parts, so they were asking each other for help. Which I thought it was pretty cool, and like, for example, a repair station for the public use. I think that would be very, very useful, very convenient for the people of San Miguel, as well as parking stations. Parking stations would allow people to ride their bicycles more comfortably. For example, just going into the store, they have somewhere to put their bike to park it and go inside the store without worrying that their bike might just get picked up and stolen. This has many benefits. For one, it promotes health, and it promotes community, having a sense of community, seeing more people on bikes, riding bikes. It encourages more people to go out there. And for health, well, it's exercise. People need exercise. The youth need exercise. Older people need exercise. And it's just a great thing to promote. And it also brings more foot traffic to San Miguel. Like, it will keep people commuting to these small businesses, these local businesses here in San Miguel, and they will keep they will spend money at these local businesses rather than having to commute all the way to places like in Paso Robles for groceries and things like that. So I think implementing more bike.
Just wrap up your remarks.
Yeah. Well, I think adding more bike infrastructure, like bike parking, repairs, more space on the road, it will make people feel safer. It will make people more comfortable to ride bikes, and just improve overall the community here that's quickly growing.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eric.
Mr. Chavez, can you put your email and phone number down there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There's something that says agenda item. I don't know.
That's fine. I just need to make sure you have your contact.
Have any other public comment at this time? Okay. This is the time and place for public hearing relating to the district's proposed increase the solid waste, recycling, and green waste services rates. The public hearing provides a forum for property owners and district customers to offer comment on the proposed rate increases. Protests to the proposed rate increases must be submitted in writing, and they will be collected until the close of the public hearing. If you wish to make public comment, please enter your name at the lectern and address the board. At this time, staff will provide a general presentation regarding the proposed rate increase.
So, as you probably recall from the initial meeting, the proposed rate increase is 3.5%. However, due to the IWMA reducing their percentage rate for the coming year to 3%, the actual increase will be 2.1%. We received no protests against the rate increase. And we have Mr. Kardashian here if you'd like some more information about the particular reduction in rate increase.
You'd like to speak?
Yeah, of course.
Karen?
Yeah. Aaron Production, Seminole Garbage. Thanks for having us here tonight and having the hearing. So what we've got, and I think I spoke about it when we first were presenting the increase, is that we were hoping to see the IDMA reduce some rates, and they actually did. It was great to see a government agency, do their part, look at their books and say, yes, we can reduce it. I do want to point out that in the letter that they sent out, they do say it's a temporary reducing of IWA solid waste management fee. So they're saying it's temporary. Not sure what that means. It started at 5.4% in 2022. They dropped it down to 4.4 in 2023 is what we based our rates on. Now, and then they dropped it down to 3% effective July 1, which is when our rates are going to become effective, the new rates. So our rate increase of 3.5, as Kelly was saying, and then reduction of a 1.4 drops our overall increase to the community to 2.1%. That being said, this could absolutely go up again, right? So next July 1, they could say, hey, we could go back up. I talked to the Peter Cron, the executive director for the IWMA, and he said, they're going to try to keep the status quo. He's not going to promise anything. I told him that since we are in a low population area already and we're exempt from a lot of the SB 1383, if he does raise it, I'd like to see us not get raised, since we are not, putting that much of a burden on the IWMA. So that was, something that I at least put out there. Is that something that they can do legally? I don't know, because it's community-based around in the entire county, right? They're in charge of the county. I don't know if they can exclude low population areas, but at least they're on notice about it and we're thinking about it. One of the other things I wanted to bring up was, and just make sure that the community and you folks know, that the IWMA rate increase, fee, is a pass-through. It's a mechanism to collect their money through our bill. So we bill it, but it really just, the amount of money we collect, they're 3%. We just collect it and pass it to them. So there's no upcharge on us, there's no franchise fee attached to that, there's no additional fees that go on top of that. It's 3% of the income goes to them, and then our bill is associated. And that is spelled out in the rate increase letter that we put out on all the rate sheet. And I also supplied a new rate sheet showing the 3% that you guys can put in as an exhibit, and then say, based on the new rates. Fortunately, we don't have to do a Prop 218 to lower rates. So we don't have to go through this process again. We can vote on it tonight and say it's all good, and then just lower the rate for July 1.
Anybody have any questions? No. Good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Aaron, I was going to respond to your comment on the community service organization section. If you guys like to stay anything for that, you guys are welcome to do that.
Is that the...
No, it's literally like more items.
Oh, okay, it's just...
You're very brave.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any more public comment?
No, you can open.
Okay. It's time to take testimony from the public. We request that each person who speaks give their name and address, and anybody else want to speak on this? Okay, at this time I'll close the public hearing. A discussion to the board, anybody? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve. I also want to thank the Kardashians for being a local business and for all the work they've done in our community. Thank you.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion on the floor by Director Calvin to adopt Resolution 2024-24, authorizing the rate increase for solid waste recycling and green waste services. Service rates to start July 1st, 2024, second by Director Baker. Director Davis?
Yes.
Director Calvin?
Yes.
Director Gregory? Yes. Director Baker?
Yes.
Director Smiley?
Yes.
Passes 5-0, no absence.
Okay. This is the time and place for public hearing relating to the district proposed approval of resolution 2024-23, confirming the 2024 weed abatement cost report and authorizing collection of the charges on the county tax rolls. If you wish to make a public comment, please enter your name at the lectern and address the board. Staff will provide general presentation regarding the confirmation of the weed abatement cost report to be collected by the county tax rolls. If the public has comment, please approach the lectern.
And we need to do staff presentation first. Scott?
Staff presentation.
Yes, good evening. The discussion is the San Miguel Community Services Fire Department conducts an annual weed abatement program in accordance with the procedures laid out in Health and Safety Code Section 14875 and is permitted by Government Code 61100, parent T. Staff is recommending that the cost incurred by the district to abate weeds from properties where the property owners have failed to do so be placed upon the tax roll for collection. And the staff has complied with the requirements of the 2024 weed abatement cost report and is now being submitted, and now that is being submitted to the board for confirmation. And attached you'll find the breakdown of the properties that were out of compliance. We had 8 in total. It says 8.
Yeah, sorry. it says
Your
my
report.
Numbers, yeah,
We
sorry.
forgot 2.
That's mine.
At the end of the staff report, open the hearing for public comment at this point. Is there any public comment? Okay, at this time, I'll close the public hearing. The public portion of this hearing is now closed. Thank you, the public, for your input, if you had any. And now the board will have a discussion. Board? Captain? You first. Mr. Baker?
Not specifically about this, but I have a question about a property.
I think we're specifically discussing
Yeah,
this.
this is what- yeah.
You could talk about that up in the fire chief report.
Director Davis?
No.
This time I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second. I have a motion on the floor to approve Resolution 2024-23, confirming the 2024 weed abatement cost report and authorize the collection of the charges on the county tax roll. Second by Director Gregory. We'll have a vote. Director Gregory? Yes. Director Davis?
Yes.
Director Baker?
Yes.
Director Calvin?
Yes.
Director Smiley?
Yes.
Passes 5-0, no absence.
Thank you.
Okay. This is the time and place for a public hearing relating to the district Proposed approval of Resolution 2024-26, confirming the 2024 report of delinquent water and sewer charges and authorizing collection of the charges on the county tax rolls. If you wish to make a public comment, please enter your name at the lectern with name and address. Staff will provide a general presentation regarding the confirmation of the 2024 report, delinquent water and sewer charges to be collected on the tax roll. Staff?
The tax exhibit A contains a list of delinquent customers, the amount for which the district has been unable to collect. Placement of the delinquent amount on the tax roll will enable the district to receive the due amount through the county's tax roll collection efforts. On April 4th and May 20th, 2024, district account clerk mailed letters to owners of real property notifying of the district's intent to have delinquent water and sewer services charges put on the 2024-25 county tax roll for collection. The letter invited interested persons to be present at this meeting, a public hearing at which all interested parties will have given an opportunity to present oral or written testimony for or against the 2024 report of delinquent water and sewer charges. At this time, I have a property that is in foreclosure, and that's the only property in Exhibit A that I have.
Okay. It is a time to take testimony from the public. We request that each person who speaks give their name and address, and 3 minutes, and press for 3 minutes approach the lectern. Public have any comment on that? Okay, at this time I'll close the public hearing. Public portion of this hearing, the hearing is now closed. Thank you for attending. Now we'll have board discussion. Dr. Calvins?
Yeah, quick question. So if a property's delinquent, do we know, like, if it's renters or
Yes.
it's the owner? So if the renters are past due, do you go after the owner?
Yes.
Okay, so they're ultimately responsible.
Ultimately responsible.
Okay,
Yes, that's not this case.
okay, that was okay.
Director Owens? Nothing? Okay. At this time, I will entertain a motion.
I'll motion to authorize, I need to read the whole thing.
2024-26.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Director Gregory to approve Resolution 2024-26, confirming the 2024 report of delinquent water and sewer charges and authorize collection of the charges on the county tax roll. Seconded by Director Calvin. Director Gregory?
Yes.
Director Baker?
Yes.
Director Davis?
No.
Director Calvin?
Yes.
Director Smiley?
Yes.
4-1-0 absence.
Okay. This time we'll have non-district report settings of municipal county organizations. San Luis Obispo County Sheriff, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Michael Manueli, Commander of Sheriff's Station. I have a report for May 2024. The station had 1,534 calls for service compared to last year, 1,720. It's a drop of approximately 11%. Something I happened to run accidentally and saw while I was running those numbers. The department for May 2024 handled 5,096 calls for service. That's county wide. It's a pretty significant number. Templeton accounted for 308 calls for service. San Miguel had 168 compared to last year. We had 202. That's a drop of 17%. Looking at our reports that came from those calls for service, we had at the station 234. Last year we had 238, almost the same thing, minus 2%. Templeton accounted for 56 reports. San Miguel, 22 compared to last year. We had 28, a drop of about 21%. Breaking those calls for service down into individual categories: assault and battery, 2 calls for service, generating 1 report. Both calls were domestic violence related. Looking at our disturbing the peace, there were 25 calls. They resulted in 4 reports. We had a neighborhood disturbance which escalated. I had the same problem last time, sorry. When one of the involved parties hit a child and threw a trash can at the party. This incident continued and we resulted in another call an hour later and we responded again. Good news, no burglaries and no thefts. No call for service or actual reports taken in that regard. Vandalism, we had one, a neighbor cutting a block off a fence and keeps walking through the owner's property. No, 3 trespassing, no reports. We had 4 reports for suspicious circumstances. A caller reported her husband would not let her out of the vehicle in the local parking lot. We had a noise was heard in the attic after a person returned home from a trip. We checked and found nothing. Then we had a vehicle driving around the area playing loud music. On the scams, just one that I wanted to note, I have heard this before, and just before yesterday's meeting, I saw this again in the bulletin, where people will call houses randomly. They just pick numbers and start calling randomly, and they tell them that we have found some kind of pornography, child pornography, or some kind of illicit material on people's computers, and if they don't want them to go to the police, they're saying, give us lots of money. In the case yesterday that I heard about, I think the woman had given $90,000 to the scammers, and that money is pretty hard to get back, if not impossible. We are coming up on Independence Day celebration and fireworks. Our patrols have been instructed to take enforcement action when applicable regarding illegal fireworks. And that is my report for this month.
Anybody have any questions?
I got a question. So I noticed on 101, they lowered the speed limit from 70 to 65.
Okay.
Yeah, how come?
That's, I don't know for sure, that's generally based on traffic studies. So traffic studies, number of accidents, number of citations and such, but I don't have specific information regarding that.
Various things.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Philip?
No.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, wait, we have a question from our fire chief.
I am ready.
It's
always tough.
I want to personally thank the commander for having deputies on patrol on the 5th Friday of the month. The presence was strong, well received, and the mayhem was to a minimum. Everybody was safe, and the cruise night was well attended. I think everybody enjoyed themselves, but safety was the primary driving force, and the sheriff's presence definitely drove that home. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I greatly appreciate that. Obviously, our intent is just public safety. We don't want anybody to get hurt out there. We want everybody to have fun. I see we have one coming up in August, so we'll be out there again. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other county organizations here represented? Not to move on to community services organizations.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just so the board is aware, Eric they actually reached out to President Smiley and myself regarding the bike project, and I did reach out to the school superintendent, Karen Grandoli. She actually sent an email this afternoon, and I made sure to loop you in on that. I don't know if you saw the email.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so it looks like they're going to discuss that. They're going to figure out see what kind of how it might work, and they're definitely looking for your input. As a longtime resident of this community, I think it's exciting, especially wanting to give back to our community, and also your email, wanting to bring our community together and be unified. And there's been a lot of stuff that's happened, and just, I always want to support our youth. That's why I belong to the Lions Club. So I don't know what other organizations you reached out, I know you mentioned some of that, but I support the project fully and do everything we can do to get back to our community. So thank you for bringing it to our attention.
There is a gala event at the Mission, so sit down dinner, Treasures of Mission San Miguel. Tickets are $150. It's a plated seated dinner with live auction, and you can also purchase a table. We'll have the tickets available on Eventbrite very soon, and that date is October the 5th at 5 p.m.
Dr. Vigo, you have anything for community? Dr. Davis? No. I do.
Look, hang on, sir. Here's my card. We're interested, so Scott Lemon, San Miguel Fire Association, and we'd be interested in supporting the gentleman's endeavor to include some sort of bike safety law, whatever. I don't know what the actual project is, but we'd be receptive to hearing it, and probably donate some funds towards whatever their goal is. It is that time of year, so we have a fireworks booth up. President Smiley noticed you guys were from Fresno assembling the booth at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which made no sense, but they did. Fireworks sales will commence July 1st, they will end July 4th at midnight, and we are hoping that everybody enjoys the 4th of July safely and sanely. That's what we promote, and all the funds that we collect go to support our community events. Alicia and Bird Foundation, sending kids to Champ Camp, the Christmas Parade, Safe First Days Parade. We send firefighters to the Al Hancock Academy, so we sponsor them. Those funds, we send children to Champ Camp who are burn victims. So we do a lot of good. And it kind of, you got to see the good in the irony, but we did conduct our blood drive. I think it's our third or fourth blood drive at the fire department. It was a success. We collected 20 pints of blood, 4 pints above our goal. And in addition to the collection, we did a lot of automated donations where they'll take plasma, triple red, whatever they desire from my guinea pigs and myself. And we're happy to do it. It's a good cause. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to report. I should have any questions. So we're still looking forward to seeing what you have regarding the signage. And if you need the assistance with the signage, we're willing to help with that as well.
Yeah, that's still moving forward. I have a design drawing into the artist now, so. Good. All right. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions? Anybody here from Army National Guard? Move on to staff committee reports.
What you do?
Oh, anybody have a comment on any of those? Staff committee reports, receive and file, general manager.
Yes, good evening. Just a couple things.